Hi there and welcome back to another NJS instructional video. In this video I'm going to show you how to check the brake pads and disc rotors on your Mazda CX-5. Now this particular model is the KF Series 2017 Mazda CX-5 and it's running the 2-litre Skyactiv G engine. However, regardless of model, the principles in this video apply to most vehicles. So why is it important to check your brake pads or your disc rotors? Because every time you press the brake pedal, you rely on the brake pads and the disc rotors, which are an integral part of the braking system. Now, to properly inspect the brake pads and the disc rotors, it's easiest to remove the wheel to give us good access and visibility. In this example, we'll be checking the vehicle's front brake pads and disc rotors. Chock the rear wheels so the vehicle can't move backwards, and jack up the vehicle. Just before the wheel lifts from the ground, crack the wheel nuts using a 20mm socket, just enough to make them easier to remove when the wheel is off the ground, but don't remove them. Then continue to lift the vehicle such that the wheel is completely off the ground. Remember, always use axle stands, never rely on a jack alone. To properly check the brake pads and the disc rotors, we're going to need to remove the brake caliper from the mounting bracket assembly. And to do that, we're going to use a 14mm socket to remove the two fasteners that secure the caliper to the bracket. Now, when you loosen these two bolts, remember to turn clockwise when viewing from the outside of the vehicle. So once the fasteners are removed and the brake caliper assembly is off, I've just mounted it onto the spring suspension here as shown, and that way there's no pressure on the brake lines as well. Before removing the brake pads from the remaining of the caliper assembly, we're just going to note any shims or tabs that may be present that we have to take note of when reinstalling the brake pads. Once the pads are removed, we're going to check for the following: uneven wear across the width or the length of the pad, and also across the thickness of the pad. We're also going to check the thickness of the pad and ensure that the friction material is within the acceptable limits. And the minimum front disc pad thickness according to the Mazda service manual is 2mm. Now you'll see on this pad as well, so this was removed closest to the engine. It also has this locking tab here, which the one closest to the wheel didn't. Now if you're doing the rear brake pads, the minimum thickness is also 2mm as specified by Mazda. However, we're going to check for around 3mm. That's more or less the minimum acceptable limits in the industry. Now if either the left or the right pad are lower than that 2 or 3mm which we're going to check for, then we're going to need new brake pads. And the other thing we're going to check is that both the left and the right pads show a similar and even wear to each other. So doing our first check, which is checking across the width and the length of the pad, it does look like we are having even wear. A little bit hard to see on the camera. So that's okay, just visually that is. And checking the other pad, that looks good as well. The next step is to check the thickness of the pad, and to do that I'm just using a very basic vernier here. So we're just going to check, we'll check a few points, just make sure that it's consistent. I'm just locking the vernier with my hands there. It is a dirty job. So it looks like we do have even wear across that, and the thickness we're actually getting is approximately 9mm. So that's got plenty of brake pad or friction material left. So we're just going to check the other brake pad here. Just check across there. It's okay. That's good. And that's also 9mm. So we're getting even wear across both brake pads as well. So both these brake pads look good, and before we reinstall them back into the brake caliper, we're going to do our disc rotor check. So before we inspect the disc rotors, I'm just going to use a brake cleaner and give it a bit of a spray and let it dry. So now that the brake cleaner has dried up, we're firstly going to complete a visual check. So we're going to check for any discolorization across the rotor face, any rust, any scoring marks, or any signs of uneven wear or warping. If the brake pedal shudders or vibrates during braking, it could indicate a damaged or warped disc rotor, and this can occur with sudden changes in temperature. So for example, heavy braking while the vehicle is going through a puddle, that water can suddenly cool the disc rotor and can actually cause it to warp. Now, warping of the rotor can be checked using a dial indicator, which I actually don't have. Now, when checking the thickness of the disc rotor, you're going to want to check in 10 different locations all around the disc rotor face. And to do that, we're going to use a micrometer. Now, we're going to check for two things. One is the minimum thickness of the disc rotor, and the other is what's called a thickness variation limit. Now, Mazda recommends the minimum thickness of the front disc rotor is no less than 26 millimeters, and the rear disc rotor is no less than 8 millimeters. So they're your two limits for the front and the rear disc rotors. Now, the thickness variation limit, which is why we're going to check 10 points, is 0.015 millimeters. So we get the maximum value, the minimum value, subtract the two, and make sure that the difference between them is no more than 0.015 millimeters. Now, for illustration purposes, I'm not going to actually measure the 10 points across the disc rotor. I'm just going to check maybe 1, 2, and maybe a third point using a micrometer like this. And we're just going to do a quick thickness check and also a variation limit check. So our first point measures in at 27.85 millimeters. Our second point also measures in at 27.85 millimeters. And our third point also measures in at 27.85 millimeters. Now, in our example, measuring the 3 points, the thickness variation limit is actually 0 because the difference between the highest and the lowest value is 0. The other thing we checked is the minimum thickness. Now, 27.85 millimeters, the minimum thickness specified in Mazda's service manual is 26 millimeters. So we comply with both the thickness variation limit and also the minimum thickness of the disc rotor. Ideally, we should check all 10 points and make sure that we have that consistency. If our thickness variation was over that 0.015 millimeter limit, the disc rotors would actually require machining. So both the disc rotor and the brake pads looked good in our case. So we're going to reinstall them the same way we removed them and put the tyre back on. Now, the torque specification for these bolts is between 30 and 39 Newton meters. So now that the brake pads and the brake caliper have been reinstalled and the fasteners have been torqued according to spec, it's time to put the wheel back on. So now that the wheel is back on and the nuts are done up and the car has been lowered, we're just going to start the car and we're going to depress that brake pedal a few times and just make sure that everything's okay. So there you have it. That's how you can check the brake pads and disc rotors on your Mazda CX-5. I hope you found this video informative. Don't forget to like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell notification icon. Thanks for watching.